Hello, beautiful ignited souls. Thank you for joining me, Crime Queen here. Okay, on this wonderful day, evening, morning, whatever it is where you're at. I do thank you. And I am, wow. Okay, I thought I had this all sorted, the cards. So, if you haven't joined me before, as I say, I'm Primary Queen, and it's Tarot for Self Love. So, Tarot for Self Love, and this just flowing. I am now about to do the sign of Taurus for January 2020. Taurus, an earth sign, of course. Uh, wow, ruled by Venus for 2020. I have this wonderful card has just flown out of the deck for Taurus, and it has been the same for Aries, which I've just done. And this card also did show in the recent past for Aries, and these two cards have just flown out of the deck. So bear with me while I adjust the camera. So I'm doing this reading, as I say, for the sign of Taurus and for the month of January. So I do call on divine inspiration, divine intelligence, past, all knowing past, present, and future. Grant us the insight for or messages for the sign of Taurus for the month of January 2020. For Taurus, January 2020. Taurus, January 2020. Okay, so we have the Gemini card, which is the Knight of Swords, have just flown out. Well, this is not flown out, but this is your general energy, Taurus. It's I get the intuitive message that this S sign, it could be Aquarius. I'm feeling it's, although it's Gemini, but Aquarius energy seem to come through, is going to be that more potent for you, perhaps because Uranus is or Aquarius is ruled by Uranus. So I'm feeling that these changes that you are going through, Taurus, as the earth sign, is very interactive with the sign of Aquarius as an air sign here. So this is your main energy, and let's see what's in your recent past. So your recent past, you have been very meditative in the sense of um, reflecting and really going within and more or less getting deep into the ideas of how you really want your life to evolve, how you want to see yourself. Now, this is the Queen of Cups, but the Queen of Cups is very intuitive. The Queen of Cups is um, emotionally intuitive and emotionally intuitive, however that comes out, but she is very much in touch with herself and her emotions, and also of people around her, so which is coinciding with Aquarius, because Aquarius is also very caring about people who are around them and significant others. So we have what crowns you is the Page of Pentacles. Of course, Taurus, you are a earth sign, and Pentacles is about tangible things, projects, money, jobs, and so on. So we can see that to be crowned with your page here going into 2020 is wonderful. So basically, some ideas which may have come through this messenger evolve in the as an intellectual idea, or ideas are my words, okay, ideas are intellectual. Okay. Um, let's just have fun here and keep it light. So these ideas that you had planted through your introspection in the cup is now taking shape. It looks um, tangible. It looks like it's really taking the shape of growth and full potential. And what you are meant to um, go towards, well, it looks like you are going to be leaving something behind, and you have left something behind and going to something greater. Leaving something behind, living or feeling like, hey, they say, feeling left out in the cold. Yes, but you know you are going towards something more tangible, something of more significance. You are going with your truth. You have this conviction. I think conviction is going to be the theme of my readings for tonight. I think it's going to be for all the signs so far. The word conviction came through my writings of my transformation of 2 volumes of the Crimson Light by Crime Queen, of course. But this conviction was an elder that I encountered on my path of transformation. And so conviction here is that truth that is so deep and that takes root in our makeup, and it's taken root in our makeup that you can't deny it when it happens. So you may be leaving something behind that others may see as meaningful, but to you, you know that it's something grander. Grander. Oh, yes. Grander. I don't know if there's such a word. Grand. It's something grand. Okay. Um, Basically, we have two figures in this 10 of Pentacles. I'm also getting a feeling that you're going to change your faith, meaning change your religious practices. You are going to, some of you, and I think for a large number of Taurians, are going to actually change, make drastic change to um, spiritual beliefs that, or religious beliefs that they have had, and are now questioning those beliefs, questioning those practices, and going to move towards something else. Now I'm going to also have another card to see what that something else you are moving towards is going to be. But before then, let's see what is your foundation here, Taurus. What is the foundation for Taurus for January 2020? Oh, I love it. 2020. It'd be interesting to also check out my YouTube channel on numerology. It does stem, or it's entrenched in spirituality, but it's very profound. I shouldn't say but, because that's how it's meant to be. So this is what I mean about you are going to face a real serious truth. So we have the King of Swords. The King of Swords is a ruler of logics and ideas, and he executes ideas. He executes he plans, and really things do happen. What he says goes, because he is the law. He represents change, because nothing passes through his legislations without change. So there's no need to address him if there weren't going to be a change. And so this is what the Five of Pentacles is about: change. Also hearing that you are changing your perspective towards money. You are changing your perspective towards material wealth. You are changing the way you have um, you're changing a lot about yourself, the way you'd seen the world. And of course, this is with the intuitive um, intelligence. This is the high intelligence that Taurus you are attaining, you or have attained. I also feel that for many Taurians this is already happening. So let's see what, wow, I was going to say, let's see what this is about, but here we see. This is really beautiful. And this is what you're moving towards. And this coincides exactly with what I mean about changing your religious practices and beliefs and traditions. You are going to modify a lot of those things to create the perfect balance that you want for 2020. Two twos, these double harmonious numbers are going to be very prominent for Taurus. And so you are going to um, find ways to create that balance. This is why you have been in this reflective mode in the past position, which still continues. But Uranus is Uranus. I have my own pronunciation for words, but I just hope you understand what I'm saying. So, Uranus, which is, well, ruled by, as I said, it's Aquarius. I'm seeing Aquarius. I know I have Gemini, but I'm feeling Aquarius. It's S sign, or all the S signs anyway. Aquarius, Libra, Gemini. Um, I'm feeling that for you to get that, even the Libra, the equilibrium that you are requiring to, or you are wanting to attain, which even if it were Libra, the scale of equilibrium that you are trying to attain, which is very evident here with the High Priestess, you are going to attain this by changing a lot of your profound and fundamental beliefs and traditions that you have held. Okay, so bear with me while, and of course, we have the death card underneath here, which means that you, of course, if you are making these changes, some things have definitely died. And you are going to have a ceremony for them. They're no longer a part of your makeup. They'll only be a memory. The memory is important to, so that you, when that template or the representation shows up again, you know to leave this behind. Okay, so I'm pulling out an oracle card. So divine intelligence, divine inspiration, aspiration, grant us this oracle card for the month of January for 2020 for the sign of Taurus. Thank you. Okay. So we have abundancia. Abundancia is prosperity. This is a beautiful card. This is beautiful. So by changing your fundamental beliefs and traditions and way of doing things that no longer serve you, you have been in your meditative state with the Queen of Cups. I'm reflecting and really seeing what has served you, what has not, what no longer serves you. This has happened through perhaps the help of the S sign, not perhaps, through the help of the S sign, where Uranus has done his thing in, or is still doing his thing, and really unearthing and bringing up to the surface all the carcass, all the good, the bad, and the ugly. And now you're able to really say, okay, this may be ugly or it may look ugly, but it fits wherever it does. Or this is good or the bad, whatever it is, you will be able to make decisive decisions. There is something with my wording tonight, and I'm not going to question it now. I'll just let it flow however it flows, because divine intervention is doing its thing. So you will be able to make decisions that will serve you and help you gain this prosperity. Now it says the universe is pouring its abundance out on you. Be open to receiving. But I believe that only happens when you have decided to leave this whatever no longer serves you behind. This is going to happen beautifully for you. So let's see what Swati Prakash has for you as in the angel cards. So divine inspiration, divine guidance, high intelligence, all knowing, past, present, and future. What is the message for the sign of Taurus for January 2020? Grant us the message, and may I have the right interpretation for this message. Thank you. Okay, so this is beautiful and very appropriate indeed. This is the Hierophant. And of course, the Hierophant deals with all religious, spiritual, ceremonial events or acts, um, atonements, well, however you want to term this. And you are the Hierophant. This is the Hierophant for Taurus. Taurus is the Hierophant, and it's number 5. So you can see the Hierophant again, like the King of Swords. You have this, the number 5 is of change. There would be no need to see or encounter the Hierophant if there weren't going to be change. And that is the duty or role of Taurus for 2020 and coming years, to really begin to make the changes in the earth. The earth sign is, and all signs, of course, but the earth signs are responsible now to making major decisions to transforming the earth and into this beautiful place or sphere it's meant to be. And of course, it is where it's meant to be right now, but we are participants in this journey of transformation, and this is what Taurians are called to do. So this is really truly beautiful. It's honoring even honoring the shadow. This is what I'm getting: honoring the shadow in you, honoring the dark and the good and all that is within you, honoring them, seeing what purpose they serve, and how best we can use, I say we now because I'm a Taurus as well, how we can use this intuitive guidance to create that the balance that is necessary. Okay, so it means that here I'm just in a line of what I'm saying as well, that Taurus, you are called to do this sacred work and to strike in the balance that is necessary in the earth. This is beautiful. This is absolutely beautiful. Okay. And yes, another card. So I'm going to have Casey Duhamel. Casey Duhamel pack is very different. It's the Illuminati deck, and by Casey and Drummond. I think it's Drummond. And I'm still really getting into this. I feel a very strong affinity with this deck, and so I'm just going to read it intuitively now, but it is different to the usual decks. Okay, so here we have again, it's the Adept of Cups. So it's the as well, it's, as you can see, it's really beautiful card. So, and so the Queen of Cups here, the Adept of Cups, let's put it in perspective. We can see the Cancerian element here. She's Cancer. She's nurturing. She's giving. She's offering the cup. She's offering the cup to you to nourish you, that you have enough nourishment, enough intuition, enough spiritual guidance. In fact, I had this, it just reminds me as well that I ought to have a cup of water while I'm doing these readings. And this was a revelation for me during my meditation. So I'm going to, after this, this reading for Taurus, and this is what I mean about Taurus really having this responsibility for change. It's a responsibility for change, Taurus. So I would like to pull a card to see what what the challenge card would be here for Taurus. What would be the challenge card? It's not very necessary in the sense, because we have known that there would be a challenge that would get you to leave something behind, which I'm sensing you already have. But the challenge is to really go with this, get in a balance with the ideas or projects that you, it may mean that you may need to strike a balance again with the two. So we have two twos, and we are talking about 2020. So two twos. um it's really getting that balance between work and home, or emotional life and spiritual life, or whatever it is that you may encounter, or a project that you are intending to do. And I believe that this is very indicative of a project that you are wanting to balance how your income is going to flow with this project, which may not be immediately fruitful, in the sense of seeing that there is an inflow of money um, on a speedy mode, but however, you are going to juggle your way harmoniously. It's going to happen harmoniously for you, of course, with the insight of this of the queen of the high priestess. So you have two basically intuitive, very highly intuitive figures here from the deck: the Queen of Cups and also the High Priestess. The High Priestess, she has the manual for life. So basically, that's why she has all that is required to strike that balance and equilibrium that you need. So I'm going to draw three cards here from the Crowley deck, the fourth tarot, and three more cards. Perhaps I should just call it the fourth tarot instead of really calling out this entity's name. Yes, I'm a strong believer of the words we use. And of course, it doesn't mean that what seems negative or does not have some positive input, because that's the state of affairs. What was negative yesterday is positive today. And this is what I believe. Okay, so three cards for the sign of Taurus for the month of January 2020. Higher self, all-knowing, past, present, and future. Wow, we have loads of cards come out here. I'll just put them back. High intelligence, all-knowing, past, present, and future. Three cards. Grant us these three cards for Taurus and the right interpretation of the messages. Thank you. So we have the Wheel of, I keep thinking it's the Wheel of Fortune, but this is a different deck. But it's also a wheel, and it's the Wheel of Life. Let's call it the Wheel of Life because it's the Four of Wands. So the Four of Wands is really telling us this is completion. We have the word completion here, but it's also saying that everything comes together really nicely in your project or your work or whatever it is that you're doing. So there's a strong and firm foundation, and the sun in the middle in your present state is really absolutely beautiful. And here we have the judgment, which is the no, it's not the judgment, sorry, it's the ace of cups. This is absolutely beautiful for you, Taurus, absolutely beautiful. And beneath we have the high priestess again. So this is when I say that the messages have a way of really confirming themselves. We have three twos here, three, two, six, and six, of course, for Taurus. And I don't know if it's for every Taurus, but for me, it's going to be a year six in numerology. It's going to be, I believe, if I've done the figures right, it's going to be a year six. Okay, so do check out numerology as well, because this the element and essence of the numbers, when we get to understand them, carry a lot of significance for us. So this is beautiful. So here we have completion, and there we have the sun and the cup. So the cup here is really, this cup reminds me as well of a spider's web. The spider's web, of course, is one of the most intricate work. It's a work of art. It is, I remember reading an article how scientists have been trying for ages to understand how the spider builds its web, and there's been so much. And I also associate the number eight with the spider, of course, because it's got eight legs, but also eight. I'm trying to keep these short, but eight is a cycle, and eight is that spiritual. Um, it's, of course, it's the symbol of infinity, but it's a spiritual. It's a spiritual template that we work with, and it's that template that we set everything into motion with. And of course then we put, it's like the bone, and it's a template, it's a template, and it takes rise, it takes shape to that which, in fact, here it helps us to put things in balance. So eight would be two fours, for instance. Two fours are eight. Just think, just looking at this, as we have the completion of number four here. So this, and in the strength card as well, which is number eight, the strength card in this Rider-Waite deck is eight. So basically, eight is really it's strong, and that's why sometimes it's very difficult to break the mold, and to set a new pattern. Once we get into the cycle of the eight, it takes us round and round in circles. So for this year, the coming year of 2020, it is vital that we of signs and Taurus here, this reading is for Taurus, that you ensure that your template is adequate, is robust, it's strong, and it can contain everything that you are wanting to put in that template. It's that cycle for the next 7 years or so, and this, which also coincides with Uranus being in the sign of Taurus for 7-8 years there. So all this is very significant understanding to gain about who you are, what you're doing, and where you are going, and so on. So here we have a beautiful, we won't complete this without really taking into account the beautiful sun that is shining here, and shining where you can gain that prosperity, We can see the card of prosperity is very vibrant, as vibrant as the sun. We have the card of the Page of Pentacles, of course, is the sun. And here we have 19. So the sun, the number for the sun is 19, 1 to 9. So it's the whole spectrum. I would even go as far as to say that this is symbolic of the era that we are moving into as earth signs, saying of our duties and our responsibilities is to do from 1 to 9, the number from 1 to 9. And numbers from 1 to 9, in the middle is the Hierophant, number 5. So you can imagine having numbers 1 to 9, 5 is in the middle. This is why the Hierophant is the teacher here. And he is the one who pronounces the death, marriage, and births and performs all these ceremonies. Okay, so when those ceremonies are performed, of course, this is when we proclaim something to be. So basically, the ceremonies are the ceremonies are what that it's like a stamp on something to say it is such. The ceremony of death, for instance, is like saying, yes, that is the finality of that. The ceremony of a christening or dedication or marriage or anything ceremonial in a religious sense is that which helps us to transcend our thought into the dimension that we can then embrace that which is, whatever that event is associated with. So I feel that this is a real beautiful reading for you, Taurians. I do these readings intuitively, and I feel that I have been guided with this enrichment to be able to do this, and I am now taking on my responsibility, truthfully executing whatever it is that I am meant to do, be, or have, and to make do a reflection of this. So I'm also reaching out to show you that I have the angel Raphael here, which is the angel of healing, and who is more or less presented himself in this sense to heal the inner child within. So thank you very much. I hope you have enjoyed this. Do like and subscribe, and please share. And of course, I look forward to having lots of videos and wonderful sharing with you. Thank you very much. Stay ignited.